We're on Daf Yud Dalet Amid Bet in Brachos, second parak. And we're going to look at this Tosefos called Mikol Mitzvot 14b. We learned earlier that the Breita talked about that when you're osek b'mitzvah, pater mit a mitzvah, when you're engaged in the performance of one mitzvah, you are exempt from other positive mitzvot in the Torah. That means mitzvot aseh. What the Tosefos wants to talk about is the language in which the Gemara uses to tell us that we're exempt from a mitzvah when we're engaged in another mitzvah. Because it said, if you're digging a grave, you're exempt from Shema, from Tefillah, from Tefillin, and all mitzvot that are mentioned in the Torah. And Tosefos is going to ask the following. Why didn't it just say that you're patur, exempt from all mitzvot in the Torah? And that statement, by default, would include Kriyat Shema, Tefillah, and Tefillin. Why did these three, and specifically Shema, have to be illuminated specifically from the rule of Mikol Mitzvot Amura B'Torah? Let's look at Tosefos and see what Tosefos has to add to this conversation. Tosefos begins, Ve'im Tomar. When Tosefos introduces a question, this is a common phrase that he uses. Ve'im Tomar. I shouldn't say him. The Tosefos, the Baalei Tosefot use. Ve'im Tomar. If it is so, V'chi Kriyat Shema, Lo hava b'klal mitzvos amura b'Torah. Isn't Kriyat Shema included in the rule of mitzvos that are mentioned in the Torah? Why does it have to be specially singled out? V'yesh lomar. And those who say, V'yesh lomar is usually the phrase that introduces the Tosefos' answer. Im tomar introduces the question, V'yesh lomar introduces the answer. V'yesh lomar. And those who say, Di'ilo tani bahadei kriyat shema, if the Torah didn't specifically, if the Gemara didn't specifically, bahadei, mention kriyat shema, hava amina, I would have assumed, the dafka specifically, hane delet lehu kaviut zman. Now when the Gemara said that one is exempt from all mitzvahs in the Torah, I would have thought it was mitzvahs that did not have a set time. Aval kriyat shema tikvu lehu zman, since Shema has a set time, lo, it would not be included in that rule. Why? Hoel, since uzman ovar, once the time has passed, I won't be able to do the mitzvah. When the Gemara said that when I'm engaged in a mitzvah, I'm patur from a mitzvah, maybe that would mean, I could have assumed, it was talking about mitzvahs that don't have a set time, and I could do them later. But it didn't include mitzvahs that have a set time, that if I don't do them now, I'm not going to have an opportunity to do them later. Kamash Malon. And the bottom line is, from this we learn, Shema was delineated, was singled out, along with Tefillah and Tefillin, to tell us even mitzvahs that have a specific time, if you're engaged in another mitzvah, you're exempt from time-bound mitzvot, even if the result is that you will miss the time to perform the mitzvah. Once you're engaged in that mitzvah and there's no one else to do that mitzvah, even a time-bound mitzvah, one is exempt. Osek b'mitzvah, pater min a mitzvah, includes time-bound mitzvot.